Gwata TV gives you a first look at North Central Washington's business news. You'll hear from our local business, tech, and education companies as Jenny discusses hot topics and current events with some of the best innovators and pioneers in North Central Washington.
Hello, North Central Washington. Welcome to Gwata TV. I'm your host, Jenny Rojanasatian, and it's a pleasure to be with you today. What is Gwata? Gwata is a 501c3 located right here in Wenatchee, Washington, but we serve Chelan, Douglas, Grant, and Okanogan counties. We're passionate about STEM education, entrepreneurship, and technology, and on Gwata TV, we're going to be bringing on special guests every week to talk about one of those three areas. If this is your first time tuning in, I invite you to check us out online at www.gwata.org for more information on our programs, events, and membership benefits. Before we get to our special guests, I'd like to take a minute to introduce myself. My name is Jenny Rojanasatian, and I've been the Executive Director for Gwata the last 3 years. It's a real pleasure to be on the NCW Life channel and take our programs to a greater audience right here in North Central Washington. I look forward to getting to know you, our members, and you getting to know us and our programs right here weekly on the NCW Life channel. When we come back, I'll be on air with Pet Hub. Pet Hub is a local technology company, and we're excited to have their VP of Operations and Marketing, Lorien Clemens. So stay tuned and join us in just a minute. Welcome back to Gwata TV. I'm here today with Pet Hub's VP of Marketing and Operations, Lorien Clemens, along with her CDO, Chief Dog Officer, Uller.
Uller.
Okay, I can't say that right.
It's all good.
All right. Welcome to Gwata TV.
Thank you,
We're excited
Jenny.
to have you on
We
air.
are excited to be here, aren't we, Uller Bear?
I have to say this is a special day for us in the studio because it's not every day that you get to share the stage with a CDO, a Chief Dog Officer.
I know.
Setting the bar really high for us, so thank you.
He sets the bar high for us every single day.
So welcome to Gwata TV.
Thank you. Thank you.
Tell me about Pet Hub. Let's talk about what your company is, what you do, and give our viewers a little insight.
Sure. So we are a lost pet recovery system. We help lost pets get home quickly through our digital ID tag. So Uller is wearing actually a couple of different of styles that we have. We have ID tags that hang from a collar like a traditional one. This one happens to be the local pet license from from Wenatchee Valley Humane. We also have collars that have the built-in tags, and we also have things like we have wallet cards, so like if you get hurt and everything. These all go to the same profile. So I've gone ahead and pre-scanned Uller. I would scan his collar, his tag with my smartphone, and then it would bring up his profile. And this profile, and why it's different than standard ID tags, is it holds unlimited contact information. It can have information about if your pet has a medical condition like diabetes or epilepsy or something, say what kind of medications they have to have and how often they have to have it. They can list all of their vaccinations, not just rabies, which can be really important if they ever have to spend the night in a shelter or anything like that. So this profile links to all of our different products. And so if your pet goes missing, somebody finds them, they can either scan the ID tag, there's a QR code on every tag, they can enter in the human readable website address, each dog or cat or goat or horse, or we even have a couple of turtles and tortoises on the site. They can put in, they each have their own code that's on their tag. And then there's also a 24/7 call center phone number. And all of that goes to the same profile, and then we help the pets get home.
That's incredible.
It's an awesome system.
It is an awesome system. As a pet owner, I love what you're doing at Pet Hub. And tell us a little bit about the inspiration. Why is having a great identification system for our dogs, cats, goats important?
Right. Well, so our founder, Tom Arnold, was at Microsoft, and he was actually doing a project at Microsoft in India. And while he was there, one of his cats went missing. And the cats had collars on there, but he realized, you know, the only number to call that's on that tag is my cell phone, which doesn't work here in India. And then he had the situation of trying to get in touch with the pet sitter to try to facilitate this whole situation. And he realized, you know, we're in the 2000s, 21st century now. We should be doing something better than this. This is ridiculous that I have, no way that I can help my cat get home even though I'm in another country. So we got home, he started thinking about it, and he realized that the traditional way of looking at pet identification, which is to have one single piece of information on a tag or even on a microchip, usually only links to one piece of information, just isn't enough for the way we live our lives. So he discovered some technology that was brand new out in the community, which is the QR codes, and he decided to do, I'm gonna put a QR code on a pet ID tag and see what happens. So that's how this whole company started.
That's incredible. Now, you shared some compelling stats with us in advance about a traditional tag that has one identifier, someone's phone number, or an animal that just has a microchip in terms of returning home if they're lost.
Right. So there's one of the issues with any kind of statistics is there's not any hard and fast on like all dogs get home within this amount of time or this percentage, but we do know the percentage of pets that get home once they're in the shelters. Okay. And those numbers are really daunting. So once a lost pet has entered the shelter, less than 20% of dogs and less than 2% of cats get home to their owners and their families again. And that is a devastating number, particularly when you consider how many millions of pets are entering the shelter every single year and what percentage of those end up never getting home again or never getting rehomed again. So that was one of the statistics that kind of was daunting for Tom when he started the company. So once we started Pet Hub, we started keeping a really close eye on like how quickly are pets getting home, because the average for a pet getting home in the country is around 7 to 10 days. We have at Pet Hub, the pets that we're getting home are getting home in less than 24 hours. 96% of the pets that we get home in less than 24 hours. And only 2% of the pets that we get home ever hit the shelter door. So we're getting pets home faster than they were getting home with traditional means.
That's incredible. So you're saving the shelter from processing an animal that's lost. You're returning them home to the dog or cat owner quicker. And most importantly, rescuing those animals who may never be found.
Right, exactly. And it's difficult because depending on where you live, there's holds on animals for how long that they can stay in the shelter once they're lost before they can get readopted or euthanized, unfortunately, in some cases. And the other thing is that a lot of the systems that exist, we're lucky here in the Valley that we have a really nice, great singular system, but there's places where your dog might get lost in your neighborhood, but be shipped to another county because that's where they have room for the dog. And so finding a dog once they get into the shelter system can sometimes be really, really challenging.
Right. And then you also mentioned earlier about all the additional information that's embedded into your website, right? So allergies for the dogs, medications, vaccinations. So if your dog does end up in someone else's care, they can quickly access their medical needs.
And we also have, you can list your veterinarian, you can list your groomer, your pet, your favorite pet store. They can become safe spots where perhaps your pet can be taken if you can't get to them right away, if you're either on vacation or at work and can't get away right away. And it's important to note that you can change the information at any time. I mean, we've actually had folks that the dog goes missing and they realize, oh my goodness, I'm on vacation. I forgot to update where we were, and perhaps they're camping. They can put the campsite address for where they are so that people know where to find them. And you can just do that on your smartphone on the fly. I've even changed my pet's information at O'Hare Airport when I realized, oh no, I have a new pet sitter. I forgot to update that information, and I changed it 5 minutes before I boarded the plane.
That's incredible. So no more worrying when you go out of country as a pet owner. You've got all the information locked in. Your pet will be safe and secure in the worst case scenario that they get out of the home or get lost. Incredible.
Hey,
now we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk more about Pet Hub and what you're doing locally in Wenatchee.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Hi, if you're just joining us here on Gwata TV, we're in the studio today with local company Pet Hub. We've got two guests with us today, Lorien Clemens, who is their VP of Marketing and Operations, along with their Chief Dog Officer. Welcome back on air.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
So we were just talking about your unique technology, the Pet Hub services, But let's talk a little bit about why is Pet Hub in Wenatchee? Why did you move your business here?
Well, we started the business in Issaquah, and then we had our offices downtown Seattle for quite a while. But about 2 years ago, we had a big pivot in how we were approaching the business. And we went from being a consumer-facing product that was mostly in retail stores and direct-to-consumer through our e-commerce to working with municipalities. And what we started doing, and we were very successful at it, is working with municipalities to bring ID tags like what Ullr's wearing for the Wenatchee Valley Humane Society into their pet licensing programs. So they're able to replace those old-fashioned stamp metal ID tags that everybody's used to wearing for the dog license with these great digital ID tags that have beautiful artwork on the front. Well, when we went to that transition, we realized our team needed to grow, our space needed to grow, and we needed to keep our costs down because the way of doing this type of business was going to have a little bit of a higher overhead for us on the initial part. So Tom, the guy who started the company, Tom Arnold, actually had a home here in Wenatchee, and one May Day, he and I were talking, and I said, you know what, why don't we just move the business to Wenatchee? It's got great support for what we need as far as, you know, the tech industry here is starting to grow, and the community itself is wonderful, and those folks that are working for us that are currently paying Seattle prices for rent and stuff like that, they'll be excited to move here. So we approached our staff with that, and they were all like, yeah, let's go, let's do it. So we moved the team over here, and we have an amazing space now down on the Ave, and the dogs love it.
Well, the advantages, let's talk, well, we lost our CDO, but that's okay, as is the nature with our pets. Let's talk a little bit about those business advantages for a technology company. For example, fiber, right?
Fiber is great. Yeah, we have really high-speed internet, which is really key to what we're doing. And also the availability of big space for our warehouse. We have a big warehouse need now that we're working with so many municipalities. And just in the last year, we've added 24 municipalities, and we're adding more every single month.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
And so we need a lot of warehouse space there too. But the other thing that we were really excited about is just the feeling that's here. That we are very cognizant of the fact that Wenatchee, and particularly with Gwata's support, is looking to expand into that technology space. And so we're excited about being part of that energy.
Well, we're excited to have you here. And I can say on a personal note, as the executive director of Gwata, Pet Hub is not only volunteer to participate with Gwata, our nonprofit is investing in STEM education and outreach, and also helping us share the message of a STEM career. So we really appreciate you jumping into this community, volunteering, getting active. But I want to go back to your statement about municipalities. So share what is Pet Hub doing with municipalities, especially here in Wenatchee?
Okay, well, Wenatchee is a perfect example. So since forever, when a person purchases a pet license, they're getting a stamp metal ID tag. And for a lot of folks, they look at that and they're like, you know, what am I paying for? Am I paying a tax to own a dog or a cat? Because the ID tag itself doesn't really show much value. So we're able to go to these municipalities and say, look, for the same price, or within a couple of pennies of what you're already paying for that stamp metal ID, we can get you into this 21st century modern pet identification program where it's a digital ID tag, goes to that online profile, has a beautiful front that they can design however they want. And because the way our system is built, it goes seamlessly into the numbering system that they're already using, no matter what their software is. We're also working on integrations to actually integrate with their software, because we're geeks and that's what we do. We integrate with software. And we're providing a huge value to their constituents and the pets that are in their communities. They're able to see immediate value, and it's been like a no-brainer for these municipalities. Frankly, when we started in 2016 putting this program out there, just seeing how people would feel about it, we thought, you know, maybe we'll get a couple of municipalities going on. Well, at the end of the 2016, it looked like 6 municipalities were going to start in 2017. Well, as I just mentioned, we had 24 start in 2017, and we have got over 60 right now that are poised to start in the next year and a half. So it's been an incredible reception that we've gotten from that municipal pet licensing space. It's really exciting.
So for the municipality, they're getting increased support, a better system,
Right.
More effective use of local dollars being
Right.
spent. And then the end user is getting your package of products, correct?
They're getting the tags, and unfortunately my model left. He had the tag on, but they're getting the ID tag. They're getting the entire Pet Hub system as well. One of the things that we're really excited about with the sheltering and municipality program is when folks come in, the program itself is free. There's a basic online profile, and the 24-hour call center is free for whoever has Pet Hub tag. If they want to upgrade to our premium services, really cool stuff can happen for their pet if they're lost. So we have an Amber Alert type system that sends out in a 50-mile radius all these alerts to say, hey, there's a pet missing. We have a GPS information that's pulled from the smartphone that scanned the tag and sends you a found pet notification to everybody that's attached to your account. We also have a social share system where you can take a virtual lost pet poster and share it out to all of the social media networks instantly. So you're not having to worry about creating a lost pet poster. We've already created it for you with the information that you put in on your pet. And all those things are part of our premium. What's cool here, though, people come in, they pay, about the cost of a latte a month for the premium service. We then give a percentage of that back to the municipality to help them pay for things like homing animals that are surrendered, spay and neuter clinics, vaccination clinics, general health and welfare for the animals that are in the community. They're able to help raise money through that program. So we're really excited about what that offers to places like Wenatchee Valley Humane Society.
So you've built a company that is already giving back not only locally through volunteer service, time and commitments, but you've also built a product that is going to impact municipalities across the country.
That's correct. That's correct.
And when you talked about the municipalities, I think what's really cool is you're serving Wenatchee.
Yeah.
But this is across the country.
Oh yeah, this is across the country. Actually, we are in 22 different countries have different Pet Hub tags. We've gotten pets home in, I think the latest one was in the Netherlands.
Wow, that's exciting.
But the website is in multiple languages and things like that. But as far as municipalities are concerned, we have, we're in San Antonio, we're in San Diego, we're in San Jose, we're getting ready to launch in Philadelphia, we're in Miami-Dade. We're in some of the largest municipalities in the country, and we're building more as we speak.
Well, we are thrilled to have you right here in Wenatchee, growing and expanding your business, bringing jobs to our community, so
definitely.
thank you. Before we wrap up today, is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience about Pet Hub or how to connect with you?
I would say just if you're interested in learning more about us, come to pethub.com. You can also learn how you can invest in this local business at pethub.com/invest. And we'd be really happy to have you on our journey with us.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Lorien Clemens, for being here, and of course for your CDO, your Chief Dog Officer, who is now in the studio enjoying some snacks. While we wrap up for today, the last part of our episode, you're going to see a great tech tip. So this is one of our weekly features here on Gwata TV. We've gone into one of our local technology companies or service providers to provide you with a weekly tip, update, or food for thought. So check out this tech tip, and we'll be right back.
Hi, this is Dan Paquette with Key Methods with this week's Tech Tip. Today we're going to talk about Microsoft Office 365. I often get asked by our clients, is this Office 365 thing something I should be interested in? Well, for most of you, the answer is probably yes. But like most things with Microsoft, there's lots of versions available and you need to choose wisely. You can get a plan with just Microsoft Mail all the way up to a full suite of Office products, even with telephone service if you wanted to. There are lots of versions available, some for small and home offices, some for large enterprises. Some of them have just email, others have the Office suite, and many, many more things like Delve and Sway and Teams and all kinds of stuff. So no matter which version you choose, you'll always be up to date, and you have multiple licenses that you can use. You get 5 named user licenses, which means you can install it on your laptop, your telephone, and your computer desktop at work. So one of my favorite things about Office 365 is the ability to collaborate. I love using Microsoft Teams to chat and instant message and to be able to work on online documents together at the same time. So if you do decide to switch to Microsoft Office 365, I often get asked, when's the best time to do that? Well, if you're going to do a forklift event, like take everybody from one version to another in your office, that would be a great time, but you don't have to do it all at once. You can buy individual licenses one at a time and then switch later when you have the need to do so. If you do decide to jump to Microsoft Office 365, make sure you work with a certified cloud provider. This is Dan Paquette with Key Methods with this week's Tech Tip.
Thank you, Dan, for that weekly tech tip here on Gwata TV. We also want to thank our friends at Key Methods. Key Methods has been a supporter, member, and advocate for Gwata for many years, and we appreciate their commitment to our nonprofit. So let's talk about that, Gwata membership. Why join as a member of Gwata? Well, for starters, you're able to come on our show right here on NCW Life Channel and talk about your company, the exciting things that are going on in your world. You can also get access to all of our events for free or reduced priced. If you didn't know already, Gwata hosts over 25 events per year, 1 to 3 events per month, and they come in a variety of styles, times, and content. For example, we host entrepreneurial panels during lunch 3 times a year. We also host a monthly Tech Talk and Happy Hour down at Badger Mountain Brewery the first Thursday of every month. So I invite you to join Gwata, support our nonprofit, and contribute to our efforts in North Central Washington. Individual membership starts at only $100 a year, and our business memberships go from $200 to $500. Affordable, easy, and most of all, fun. We're your local technology alliance, and it's an honor to serve you. I invite you to check us out at www.gwata.org and check us out at one of our upcoming events. Thanks for joining me on Gwata TV today. We'll be back next week with Pete Phillips from the North Central Education Service District to talk about what's going on in education throughout North Central Washington. Be sure to tune in then. Thanks.
Since 1999, Gwata has served as North Central Washington's Tech Alliance. As a 501c3, our mission is to bring people and technology resources together to create a thriving community. Through our work, we aim to inspire, engage, and connect.